All right, welcome to the Explainer. You know, when you think of a hiking trail, you probably picture a simple path in the woods, something worn down by footsteps over time. But what if I told you it's actually a super sophisticated piece of architecture? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the unseen systems that make a simple walk in the woods even possible.
Okay, so let's really get into this. We see a path and we just assume it kind of appeared, right? But that's rarely the case. A great trail is never an accident. It's this meticulously designed system, and it's built in layers, right from the very ground you're walking on, all the way up into the cloud.
All right, so our journey is going to start right where the boots hit the dirt, the physical foundation. This is the very first layer of a trail's architecture, and it's all built on this one really powerful idea, making sure everyone has access. So this right here, this is the core philosophy. And it comes straight out of accessibility guidebooks. It's called universal design. And it's not just a nice tab, it is a foundational principle. What it's really saying is that a trail shouldn't just be for some people, it's got to be for everyone, no matter their physical abilities.
And just look at how specific this gets. I mean, this isn't just some vague suggestion like, make the path smooth. No, this is a legit engineering spec. The surface has to be so firm and stable that it can support a wheelchair without shifting or compressing at all. This is where trail building really becomes a science.
And it gets even more precise from there. You see, every single incline on a really well-designed trail is a totally calculated decision. This whole slope ratio thing, the rise over the run, it's a constant balancing act between the natural landscape and what every potential user can physically handle. That is a deliberate architectural choice that literally makes the difference between a path anyone can use and a climb that's just impossible for some.
Okay, so we've got the physical path down, but how do you actually navigate it? Well, that brings us to our second layer, and this is where we jump from the physical world right into the digital one. This is the blueprint that lets you understand the trail before you even think about leaving home, the digital map. Now, the folks who map trails, like the awesome community over at OpenStreetMap, they get that not all challenges are the same. They make this really critical distinction between difficulty and visibility. I mean, think about it, right? You could have a trail that's super easy to walk, but it's so overgrown you can barely see it. Or you could have this killer climb that's as obvious as a 4-lane highway. These are two completely different problems, and they require two totally different sets of data. And this is just a brilliant example of how they solve that. They use these standardized systems, like the Swiss Alpine Club Scale, or SAC scale, to classify just how difficult a trail is. And this is so cool because it turns a totally subjective feeling, wow, this trail feels hard, into objective, structured data that anyone, anywhere can understand. A T1 is a walk in the park. A T4, well, that's for serious alpine hikers. It's a universal language for the trail.
All right, so we've got our physical path. We've got our digital map. But what if the trail could actually talk to you? Well, that's our third layer, connected intelligence. And to really see this in action, we're going to look at this amazing case study, the Stockholm Archipelago Trail.
Okay, first off, you have to appreciate the sheer scale of this thing. This is not just some little path in the woods. We're talking about a massive network that spans 270 kilometers across an entire chain of islands. The ambition here is just huge.
And believe me, it is so much more than just a long line on a map. It's more like a living, breathing network of information. Get this, the project has connected over 600 individual data points directly to the trail itself. That's hundreds of pieces of live, actionable intelligence. And this right here is where the magic happens. So the project uses this tool called Wikidata to build what's called a knowledge graph. Just think of it like a smart web where all the data is interconnected. But the real key, the game changer, is that it's language agnostic. That means the info isn't just in Swedish. It can be automatically understood and displayed for a visitor from Japan or Brazil or anywhere in the world. It's like a universal translator for the trail.
So what kind of information are we actually talking about here? Well, it's pretty much everything a hiker could possibly need. The exact location of a defibrillator, crucial for safety, where to find drinking water, real-time ferry schedules for hopping between islands, campsite details, even where to rent a kayak or grab some dinner. You see how this transforms the map from just a static guide into this dynamic, absolutely essential tool for planning, for convenience, and for safety?
Okay, so let's pull all of this together and really see the full picture of what a modern trail has become. It's pretty amazing.
It all starts with that physical foundation, right? The ground itself, engineered for access. Then, layered on top of that, we have the digital blueprint, using all that standardized data to make a map that's crystal clear. And then the final layer, the cherry on top,
is that connected intelligence, turning the map into a smart dynamic information system. See, each layer is absolutely essential, and each one builds perfectly on the last.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's that the best, most seamless outdoor experiences, they are almost never an accident. They're the result of really thoughtful, multi-layered design, of real architecture. A great trail is so much more than a path. It's a genuine triumph of architecture, from the ground beneath your feet to the data in your phone.
So the next time you find yourself out on a trail, I really want you to look for these layers. Think about the precise slope of that path. Consider the data that's packed into the map in your hand and all the real-time information it might be connected to. Because once you start to see this unseen architecture, I promise you, you will never look at a simple walk in the woods the same way again.